What's up, jobbers and jobbettes? It's your boy Jared Never Sleeps back at with you, the Wrestling Never Sleeps podcast, and this is your Smackdown review for January 22nd. I hope all you guys are doing well out there. This show was I would say was pretty decent. It started off with first and foremost, I think the video package just kind of breaking down what's going on with Roman Reigns was really great, and it really made him look like a star. I believe right now Roman Reigns is probably the only superstar right now in professional wrestling, and the video package really conveyed that kind of like the power struggle between the powers that be, Adam Pearce, WWE himself, and just the tribal chief gimmick is just, man, I wish they would have did this 5 years ago with this guy. He's just been phenomenal in that role, being super alpha. And I think he's one of those characters he's a heel, but it's something that you can either hate him or you can actually love him for it. And I just really love that Roman Reigns character now, how they've really just kind of made layers to the character and kind of let him be the entity he should have been this entire time. So Roman comes out just straight up looking like a star, looking like the champion that he is. And one part I did enjoy was when he's on the mic in the first segment, they have the "You suck" chants just like piped in as if an actual crowd is there, which is kind of a stupid element because it's like WWE's doing it. That we know it's not a real crowd there, so it was just kind of dumb. And Roman had this really puzzled look on his face, like I can't believe the fake virtual Zoom crowd is saying that I suck. So from there, Adam Pearce comes out and he has a kind of a verbal back and forth with Paul Heyman, and Paul Heyman's mic work is just on another level. He's definitely one of the greatest in the in the entire industry as far as promo, and he's talking trash and he's saying that he's from New York and he can kick Adam Pearce's ass, and it was cool. It was cool to see that little moment, and when Paul Heyman was on the mic, it kind of reminded me of like the beef he has with Ryback right now, and Ryback is claiming that he would run circles around Paul Heyman on the mic, and then this just showed it that he's still one of the best promos in the in the whole industry. So they book a match for the main event. Essentially, it would be Adam Pearce versus Paul Heyman in the SmackDown main event. And I really liked that booking here because I thought it was something different. I thought it told like a different story than WWE typically tells. Like it was Roman Reigns was saying that Paul Heyman has to fight him because he can't be disrespected and be associated with Roman Reigns at the same time. So that was a cool little element put in there. And then, Adam Pearce is just really trying to just defend his manhood and not look like a punk. But there was a line in there where Adam Pearce said something more like along the lines of like, he'll take verbal abuse from Roman Reigns or he'll take physical intimidation from Roman Reigns, but he won't take it from Paul Heyman. And it was kind of like a clunky line, like, it kind of still makes him look like a punk because he's like, I won't fight this guy, but I'll fight you. Like they probably could have worded something better as well. Adam Pearce doesn't look as weak. I mean, because at the end of the day, he used to be, a pretty successful indie wrestler. So kind of just give him a little bit of more, you know what I mean? So, and then the little kind of things where Roman doesn't speak into the mic and he's just kind of talking trash under his breath. I think that was kind of a cool little element. So overall, I think the first segment was good. Next up, you get the comedy act of Sami Zayn coming with a full documentary crew, and he's claiming that there is injustice in WWE, and he starts a little protest. And if you're not gonna have this guy in the ring, or if you're not gonna have him have a mid-card title, this is a little something nice for him to do. I think it seems like he's really enjoying himself and he's just being creative. It's a nice little element, and matter of fact, now I think about it, that would be Sami Zayn's like the perfect person to have like a Money in the Bank briefcase. Just the way he can be so heelish and so like, just his antics would be great. It'd be awesome to see Sami Zayn with the Money in the Bank briefcase. Money in the Bank briefcase. Jeez. Money in the Bank briefcase, but that's for another fantasy booking on another day. So next up, we have the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. We have Charlotte Flair and Asuka versus the Riot Squad of Liv Morgan and Ruby Riot, with Billy Kay as their kind of manager. Um, First things first, can I make a petition right now? Can I make a petition right now to give Asuka um, something to do that doesn't make her look like trash? Like even like when you look at the entrance, first of all, Asuka as the Raw Women's Champion, she comes out first after Charlotte, and then Charlotte gets the freaking the nice entrance with the fireworks, and Asuka has to do Charlotte's entrance with the robe turning and all that stuff. And it's like, man, I'm a real big fan of Asuka. I think a lot of people are fans of her, but there's the booking that they give her is just so subpar. Even then, she lost on Monday to Alexa Bliss clean. So, but I won't complain too much. I'll try to keep the podcast positive. But yeah, that petition's coming to stop booking Asuka like trash. So, nonetheless, Charlotte Flair looks like a star. She's definitely presented to us and looks like a performer that's above everybody in her class. And and then there's Billy Kay in the element. I think Billy Kay to me is incredibly talented. She's not the best in ring worker, but her character is, since the Riot Squad has not the Riot Squad, since the Iconics have split up, it seems like she's still trying to find herself. She's trying to find a gimmick just to like latch onto anything and continue to be on television. But she has been consistently entertaining. She's great on the microphone. She has perfect comedic timing. But I mean, I would like to see her. Honestly, the Iconics should still be together. I think that was a great tag team, and they're entertaining, and they feed off of each other well. But in this role with Billy Kay just kind of being the Riot Squad's manager, yeah, it's giving us, I guess, some great filler comedy. I guess she'll go from like tag team to tag team to tag team and just go around until she kind of finds her footing again. But I think hopefully WWE keeps her on TV because to me she's like very entertaining. Even with her wrestling, I'm not gonna say incapabilities. She's just not she's no Shawn Michaels here or something. I'll say that she still has a lot to learn, but overall I think she's a great talent. From there, so they're having the match, and then waiting in the wind, they have Natalya and Tamina, the random new best friends, watching the match. I guess waiting to get their title shot. So we'll see that, I guess, in the coming weeks. Natalya and Tamina, I'm sure they need something to do. Can we get some type of backstory, or can we elevate these characters? Where there's some type of resonance with the audience. I would definitely like to see that. I think, WWE has too many just random tag teams of people, just random pieces that aren't doing nothing. And, let's give these people some stories. Let's give these people some layers to why they're together or what's their mission, instead of just, throwing people together, because I think that's what would make it more interesting. So, we have the match. It's a pretty decent little match. We have Charlotte Flair wins with the natural selection, and she gets the pin on the Riot Squad. Excuse me. And then Billy Kay has cost the Riot Squad the chance to win. So they tell Billy Kay said she needs to take a hike. So I'm sure we'll see her with like Natalya or Tamina next week or something like that. Next segment, we have Daniel Bryan come out, and he's got the Rhea Ripley haircut. And Daniel Bryan just kind of talks about how much the Royal Rumble means to him, and that's one of the only things he hasn't done in his career. and that's great. But I think we might have missed the boat to have a great we love Daniel Bryan type of Royal Rumble celebration. Even though I think he's still super over, he's one of the best baby faces in the business. Um, like Dolph Ziggler said, it's not 2014 anymore. Love Daniel Bryan. I just wish they would have had this type of um, they would have booked it better in the past. So Daniel Bryan's on the mic. He talks about how he wants to win the Royal Rumble this year, even though they haven't really given him any type of momentum going into the Royal Rumble. So then he's interrupted by Cesaro. Cesaro's telling him that he's gonna win, more or less. And Cesaro, obviously, an internet darling. People love Cesaro. They want to see him succeed. But again, you just have these guys kind of randomly coming out and being like, "I'm gonna win." And no one really has momentum. Like this is like one of the first years you don't really know who the heck is gonna win the Royal Rumble. Yeah, like literally anybody can win it. So because nobody has momentum, and I don't think anyone's even really hyped to see anybody win. So that's that. So then Ziggler comes out and he interrupts the both of them, and Ziggler is telling, like I said before, Ziggler's telling Daniel Bryan that this isn't 2014 anymore. He's been in more Royal Rumbles than anybody. He's the second most Royal Rumble entrant of all time, and this is finally going to be his year. Now, Dolph Ziggler, to me, is one of my favorites. Dolph Ziggler is money on the microphone. He had a great promo. He has a great look, and he's also really, really good in the ring. This is another person I wish that they would have pushed from the jump, because he's just so, like, he has everything that you need in a WWE superstar. Look, he could sell, he could talk, his entrance is cool, his look is like everything. And, he just never gets any wins, and he never gets momentum, so that therefore he can never be elevated to like the upper echelon, or even someone that you can even remotely see winning the Royal Rumble. So what happens is a match between Ziggler and Cesaro breaks out. And I really paid attention to this wet match, and this match would be like it was a great match. It was a really good match that if WWE just would have invested the time into these characters, Cesaro and Dolph Ziggler, if they would have invested time in building these characters and making them good, this match could have been a really great match that people cared about if WWE just invested in them. If WWE just invested in these two guys, and because they could go, it was just a really good match. And unfortunately, since the characters are kind of constricted, then it's just a good SmackDown match. So I would love to see WWE just kind of give these guys more momentum and kind of elevate them up in the card, instead of just kind of having them do 50-50 booking all the time. So, of course, Ziggler takes the loss, as always, and that's that segment. Next up, we have the interesting match of the night. This interesting match was the SmackDown Women's Champion, Sasha Banks, versus Carmella's hired help, Reginald. I will say I did not like the match. I actually thought people would hate the match a lot more. I went on Twitter when I was watching this, and people were like, "Oh, this is such a great idea." I thought it was a terrible idea. I thought it was a terribly booked match, because at the end of the day, it just, to me, the way it was set up, it had Sasha look way weaker. I mean, Sasha she's your top champion on SmackDown, and she's fighting someone's like personal assistant, and he's countering her moves. He goes to slap him. He grabs her hand. He's flipping out of her offense, like he's just doing flips and splits and back and somersaults. And I'm just looking at this like, this is making her look weaker. Like, why would you even, if you're gonna book this intergender, women versus man match with your champion versus someone's hired help, it better be a squash. Like, maybe let him get like one little flip in the beginning to I outsmarted her, but she should really like destroy him because that sets the precedent. Like that, it sets a precedent as her being a superior to him. But he was just really just going all over. Like he was countering all of her offense, and that just didn't look good. So, what did you guys think about that match? I'm actually curious to know what you guys thought about the booking of Sasha versus Reginald. I thought it was a bad idea at the end. It just made her look weak as a champion. In my opinion, I just like. Don't get me wrong, the in ring work was really really good. They were flipping around, and it was like kind of like the Mexican style lucha libre stuff. But did you have to do that? Was that? I mean, at the end of the day, the Reginald just looked better because we know how athletic he is. But what did it do for Sasha really? It did more for Reginald really because we got to see him work versus Sasha. So yeah, I don't know about that. And the other thing I want to say is Carmella was on commentary, and I actually kind of find this interesting. They never play up the dynamic between Corey Graves and Carmella. Obviously, they are in a real life relationship, but they never play it up. They never speak on it or anything. But when what I find interesting is when Dean Ambrose, John Moxley, whatever you want to call him, when he was an active member of the WWE, they didn't talk. They talked about that all the time with that fact that he was married to Renee Young, and they used to put her in these really awkward, situations when she was the commentary on Raw, doing commentary on Raw. But they never do that on Corey Graves. So that's one thing I noticed that I just found a little interesting. But nonetheless, next up we have Apollo Crews versus Big E. Okay, decent mid card rivalry. It's nice to see Apollo Crews on TV and get some shine. Big E is a well deserved champion. Good back and forth. I like the element that Sami Zayn comes back in. He's still trying to get back his Intercontinental title. I guess assume like this will end up being like a three-way type of feud between Apollo Crews, Big E, and Sami Zayn, and I'm cool with that because it gives like very talented guys, hardworking guys, some stuff to do, and hopefully we get some good booking out of it, and people get to go elevated and do other things, and they all do good business. So. Good match. Yeah, just a good match. I'll say that. Next, we got a little Kevin Owens in his car talking about what it means to be a man and what it means to have respect, and decent promo off Roman Reigns, and Kevin Owens. I really like Kevin Owens. I really, really like Kevin Owens' work. I think the match he had, what was it? He had, I think, what was it, a ladder match 2 months ago against Reigns. I think that really elevated him and let people know that he can, like, we all know he is main event. He's a main event guy. But I think it kind of solidified that he is that type of main event guy. I just don't think, I'm not sure if this is the right timing for this feud. And, I just feel like something's missing. Like I feel like cause it just doesn't seem believable that Roman Reigns is gonna lose to Kevin Owens. Like that's what I like. Usually I like I like the Royal Rumble matches that it's like, okay, this can go either way because WrestleMania is right around the corner, and we don't know what's gonna happen. But no one sees Kevin Owens beating Roman Reigns, so I don't think that the timing is right for this particular feud. What do you guys think? Does the timing seem off to you too? I just don't think it's like the right time to have Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens. But I mean, he's working his butt off, so good for him. We have a backstage segment with Sonya Deville and the Street Profits. The Street Profits won the title match. Sonya Deville, she's like a new WWE official role. She's saying no, wait till you get healthier, and we'll take it from there. What do you guys think about the Sonya Deville like GM type of WWE official role? I mean, is she injured? What's going on? I get obviously I guess they're trying to give her something to do in the interim. Maybe it's not the right time for her to be active wrestler because where the hell are you gonna put her? There's only 2 hours on the show. Where does Sonya Deville go? So yeah, I mean I guess it's great that she's doing something. And then the Street Profits, are the Street Profits. They're entertaining tag team. And yeah, I mean, I guess it was an okay segment. It just nothing really happened. There was nothing really was going on, in my humble opinion. What do you think about the segment? Next up, we have the challenge of Bailey versus Bianca. I thought this was really good, considering it's just a stupid idea to just have them go out and have a challenge. Bailey is really really freaking good. Bailey, this heel role with Bailey is just awesome, to me. I think she's a way better heel than she was a babyface, and that says a lot because she was a the great babyface. Um, yeah, Bailey just can do it all. So I thought it was cool. Bailey just goes through the obstacle course, and she just can't. There's certain things she can't do. She picks up the Gable and goes across the line, and then she misses the layup. Uh, so yeah, that was cool. Then Bianca goes, and this gave her a little shine, let her be in her element because I think she was a huge track star in college. So they let her just jump the hurdles and jump over the wall, and then Otis comes out of the ring. She picks up Otis, and Fireman carries him. Then she crosses over Bailey and dunks the basketball. Like it was just good. And then Bailey gets her Bailey gets her revenge by going ahead and beating up Bianca at the end. So this is cool. This is cool. Bailey's being used in the perfect way. Like, she lost the SmackDown Women's Championship, but she's still presented as like one of the top tier talents. She reminds us all the time that she was the captain. Oh, where we go? She's the captain of the Survivor Series team, and she is the the longest reigning SmackDown Women's Champion. So she's taken all that, and now she's able to work with younger talent that need to be established, and she's doing just that. It's like perfect. It's like she's bringing somebody else up without hurting her character. So, yeah, I think this is good, and they'll have a great match. Like, when are they gonna fight? Are they gonna fight at the Royal Rumble, or has it been announced? I can't remember, but they'll probably announce it. But I think this is good business for everybody involved. Then at the end, the main event, you have Adam Pearce versus Paul Heyman, which of course turns into Roman Reigns versus Adam Pearce. So, this is a cool little type of sequence. Paul Heyman comes out, he fakes the injury, he says he can't go. Roman Reigns comes out. It turns out that Roman Reigns and Adam Pearce, they start fighting. Kevin Owens jumps in, starts tearing up, whipping ass, stunning, all that stuff. Cool segment, cool end of the show. Ended 2 minutes early, but overall, I think this was a great show. I'm going to say this show was a B plus, and yeah, it had a lot of great action. It had a lot of great story, furthering of the stories, and a lot of good points where you can laugh, or you can say, "Oh, this is interesting." So, what did you guys think about the show? Let me know in the comments section. That's my time for tonight. Make sure you look out for my Royal Rumble reviews. Royal Rumble previews, very coming soon. Royal Rumble is in a week from Sunday. And also look out for the Raw review Raw review this week as well. Make sure you go back and look at my other videos and leave a comment, leave a like if you like this content. Let me know what you guys want to hear. Let you guys talk to me. I want to know. I want to connect with other wrestling fans from around the world and see what you guys think about what's going on in the WWE and AEW and NXT and all the stuff in between. Impact, the WWE Network, old school stuff. But that's my time. I'm Jared Never Sleeps. Good night, everybody, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.